What's going on, everybody? Your host AMF1534 here. Welcome back to Let's Play some more Gran Turismo, the ultimate driving simulator, and happy Labor Day to all of you in the United States of America. So, today what we're doing is we are smack dab in the middle of another championship series that we are winning in dominating fashion. We are at 27, 14, 12, 11, 6, and 5. I feel really bad for that Aston Martin DB7 Coupe. He is really struggling mightily out there, but you know what? At the same time, I'm not worrying about it because we take no prisoners in this business. So let's get down to business here. We're gonna skip the old qualifier, and we're gonna be good. We're gonna roll into, what is it, Grand Valley East Dose? Sure is. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna put this thing to bed and collect on our prize because that is what I want. I need to put some ice on my knee here again pretty quick. I injured it playing a game of Over the Line. For Labor Day today, we went out and had a little family barbecue at this park that I've never been to before. And we played this game called Over the Line, which I'll do my best to explain how it works. It's kind of a tricky one. So it's essentially like baseball in a way. Pretty much how it works is you've got your two teams, obviously. And you play in like similar dimensions as that of a baseball field. I mean, you got pretty much the whole thing is set up the same way, but there's no live base runners. And that's kind of one of the main pieces of how this works. There's no live base runners, and the whole premise of the game isn't necessarily to hit it as far as you can per se. It's just to get a hit in any possible way. But it's different. Like the way that you get hits are a little bit different. So you pretty much, what you have to do is where the pitcher's mound is, there's like a line drawn, essentially from like foul line to foul line, that extends about as far as where the pitcher would be standing. And the only way you can score a hit is if you hit the ball past the pitcher in the air and it drops in fair play. And so everything is scored as a single, and then you just have to try to accrue as many base runners as possible, and then they would advance in the same ways that you would normally. So if you hit like a line drive and somebody catches it, then it's an out, and you have 3 outs to try to score as many runs as possible, and then after that the next team comes up and all that. So there's a little bit of strategizing there. You can either try to be the guy that, you know, hits with crazy power and, you know, hits it over everybody, but you don't necessarily, you know, get anything more from it because there's no actual like home runs or extra base hits. We actually implemented it today where if you hit it over all the outfielders' heads, then you could get a double for it, but everything else is scored a single. And so it gets pretty crazy after a while, and we put like 5-run limits on scoring. And so we played it for quite a long time, and there was this one play where my dad was up, and he was on the other team, and I was playing out in left field, and he walks up and he just crushes one. Oh, the other crazy part is that you actually pitch to your own team, like your own players pitch to you, so like the pitcher doesn't actually field anything at all. So if you have one that's essentially like right there, that could be like a play right near the pitcher's mound, like your own person won't have anything to do with it. It's just up to the other players to keep somebody in that area. So my dad goes up and he just crushes one like way over my head in deep left field, and so I turn back and I start sprinting for it, and I barely catch this thing. Like it definitely had some serious legs on it, and so I ended up catching it. And then I had so much momentum that I just kept on kind of jogging a little bit, and while I was jogging I planted my foot in the ground. And it's like really uneven terrain out there, so there's like little potholes and little mounds of stuff out there. And when I planted, I just like tweaked my knee a little bit, and like it never really felt the same after that, which totally sucked because like just as time went on and I put more weight on it and everything, it just started getting more and more kind of sore, and I felt less comfortable being on it. And it came down to the last hit. We were in sudden death, just because everybody was getting ready to leave, and so we're like, all right, next run wins. And we had 2 outs, and they had the bases loaded, and all I had to do was get one more out, and this guy comes up, and he just blasts one right over my head. And I think that had I been like at full strength, I could have at least made a play on it. I may not have caught it, but I could have at least made a play on it. But as soon as he hit it over me, I was just like, dude, I can't make a cut for that thing. If I do it, I'm going to be in big trouble. And so I just let it go. I was thinking maybe it'd go foul, but it dropped in fair and we lost, so that was a bummer. I mean, we won the other game like 8-3 or something, so I mean, we ended up tying in the series, but yeah, after it just kind of, I was like, I'm not gonna risk this one. I've never had like a serious knee injury before, and I'm not trying to start today playing a game of a sport that is like not important at all. Like, I'm not like, you know, playing it competitively for any reason. We were just, you know, playing for fun or whatever. So I'm trying to keep my own physical health intact for that one. All right, so all we got to do is get a win here, and the whole thing's good, huh? And then everything will be good in the world. We'll get a nice big old cash prize for our efforts, and yet another racing car. I'll be kind of cool with that, whatever it ends up being. I would imagine in a championship series like this where the competition has been a little bit lighter, I don't imagine we're going to be getting a crazy powerful car. I mean, the one that we got for the other one, the US and Japan joint, I mean, that one wasn't even as powerful as this car. So, who knows? Who knows what will happen there? But ooh, here we go. Gotta be careful with all that. Didn't we totally blow this on the last lap? I think we did. I think we like had it in hand, and we had like one shoddy thing happen on like the very last portion of the last lap, and we blew the lead. And we won the championship anyways, but still kind of bothered me that we just fell apart at the end. So, oh, I got story time for you guys, yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm also curious just to know what my fellow Americans, what you guys did for Labor Day today. Whether you guys, you know, did a similar thing with barbecues. Did you get stuck working? I normally actually have to work on Labor Day, but my parents finally cut me some slack, and we all took the day off. We actually just had one of our other coworkers come in instead. He wanted the hours for like, fine, totally. I mean, if you want the hours, you can totally take them, because not a single one of us want to do that right now, and so he ended up working by himself today. But yeah, let me know what you guys did. If you barbecued, what'd you make? We had like Italian sausage dogs, super good. And my dad's actually heating some up on the old BBQ right now. Can't wait to have that. And I tried spicy nacho Doritos for the first time today. I kind of go in like really light waves for Doritos. Like, I love Doritos, but I can't like go super heavy on them very often because I get so burnt out on them so quickly, and so I try to like really gauge when I don't have them. I usually save them for barbecues like that. That's when I really go. That's when I really tape my balls to the ceiling and you know, start playing ping pong blind with bats. You know, so that's what that is all about. But okay, now it's time for some real story time. As promised in my previous Rocket League episode, I told you guys I had some interesting customer encounter stories to get off my chest here, and believe me, they do not disappoint. It was the Saturday from hell, let me tell you. Not for me. It was Saturday from hell for my brother, because he was on the receiving end of all of it pretty much. So so he and I were working. He gave my mom the day off, so she didn't have to work, and I'll bet he just wishes now. He's like, God damn it, I'm never taking those Saturdays ever again. It just all snowballed on me so fast in there. So we're working, and we're streaming some football games just because it's college football season, and that's what you got to do at that point. God, that was weird. We were bouncing like we had some crazy hydraulic action going on. I was like driving in like Los Vactos territory in GTA San Andreas there. That was weird. Oh boy. Oh no, you don't. I see what you're doing there. So we're just streaming stuff or whatever, and we see this lady coming, and she looked like she was probably in like about her 60s, kind of, you know, long scraggly hair, kind of looked sort of hippie-ish or whatever. And so she comes in, and we're just like, hi ma'am, how are you doing today? Like, what can we help you with? And she's like, well, you know, I was doing just fine until you called me ma'am. And then like all three of my brother and I and my dad kind of all looked at each other like what? And she's like, I would have been doing just fine if you would have referred to me as anything else but that. And we're just like, okay, sorry to offend you, I guess. I mean, we were just extending it as like a courtesy, like we do all of our customers. She's like, well, you know what? You shouldn't say that to people. You know, I find that as a very offensive word, and you know what? I'm not the only one that thinks that. I've talked to hundreds of other people, and they all think the same way. It's a terrible word to say. You know why? Because it makes people feel old that you call them ma'am. I can't believe that you'd say that to all of the women that come into the store. That's just terrible. How dare you? And we're just like, what? We're like, I mean, sorry, I guess. I mean, like right after she got done doing that, we're just like, okay, well, if you need any help, then just, you know, let us know. She's like, well, I won't. And we're just like, okay, well, I don't know, you know, what fucking crazy parasite crawled up your asses and is controlling your brain and hormones now, but we'll just leave you be. And we find out later that she was already sick and she was dealing with like traffic from the fair, which is terrible around here this time of year. Like, Salem traffic is bad enough on its own, but when the fair's around, dude, it is a nightmare in that area, and she happens to live over there, and so she was, like, already in, like, that predisposed, pissed-off mood, and, you know, so she was, like, we already saw it on the way in, and so, like, I looked up the definition of ma'am, just because I wanted to know it in my head, just so I could, like, have some validation in my brain, and, like, I mean, we kind of already know it, like, it's not, like, a derogatory term, like, the definition of ma'am is like, it's a polite, and it's a term for being, it's like a polite address to a woman, or like a polite way to address like a police officer or like a ranking military officer, or addressing like female royalty. Like, those are the three different definitions it gave for the word ma'am. And so it's like, first of all, like, I can understand if you were, like, you know, in your 20s and being called ma'am, like, makes you feel old. But this lady was already in her 60s, like, I mean, I don't know how much younger you think you are, but, like, that is definitely an appropriate age for being referred to as ma'am, so I don't know what the big deal was there. But, dude, she just, like, took crazy offense to it. And, like, and the other thing, too, is I was thinking, like, what other, like, I know that she didn't talk to anybody at all, because I've never, in all of my years being on this earth, that is the first time anybody has ever been pissed off for any of us calling her ma'am. Like, it was so weird. But she was, like, looking my brother in the face the whole time it was going on. Like, she wasn't really talking to, like, me or my dad in this situation, but, like, we knew that she was kind of, you know, aiming at all three of us, but she just so happened to be, like, locked in on him. I felt bad. Because he's just, like, looking around like, why am I the one getting all this? Like, what the hell's going on here? Let's see what we got as a new car, by the way. Let's check it out. Ooh, a Del Sol, huh? Damn, that thing's got some power in there, and it's light. Lightweight is good for that. Well, here's the thing. We don't have any U.S. cars for this. This could be potentially an issue here. Let's see. Let's see what we can muster up. We definitely have enough money to buy one at this point. I mean, we got, let's see, Toyota, that one's got 541, that one's got 563. You know what we could do? Let's take this FTO and we'll sell it off. We don't really need it at this point. I'm just trying to think of what we're gonna do. Like, we either have to get a US one or we've got to get a British one for this deal. Actually, let's find out. Crud. Okay, let's jump in our RT real quick here. I'm like a little bit discombobulated trying to figure out what to do at this moment. So let's go jump in this car and go see at least what we're up against for this competition. I'm kind of intrigued to at least see what's going on here, and then we'll go from that point. If we have to, then we'll probably end up having to buy a car. We got plenty of money for it. So that was that one. It was just so, like, perplexing. It just came out of nowhere. I've never heard anybody get so upset about that. Oh, that's not going to be that bad. That's literally, like, the same type of competition we just dealt with. I kind of want that Viper G. I mean, we can definitely use this car. Like, we don't have to necessarily use something else. This would totally work. Let's do it. Why not? I mean, I'm already used to driving this Viper. Might as well give it a go. I mean, it keeps us from having to spend money on another one of these. So let's freaking go for it. Why not? Let's just get down with it. Well, we got time for some story time, so we'll keep going. So then later on, after I had gone through the whole lost wallet saga that I dealt with, this is when the other two happened, and these were the best ones. So I leave, and, like, apparently, like, right after I left, my brother ends up he ends up getting a call from this lady, and he's like Salem Health Foods, how can I help you? And she's like, I need help with I can't read the label on my laxative that I got from the doctor, and so I need you guys to tell me how to use it. And we're just like, okay, so exactly how are we? I mean, she's like, I don't really know, like, which one are you using? She's like, well, I got it from my doctor, and I just, the print's too small, and I can't read it. And he's like, well, I mean, I don't think I'm going to be able to tell you how to use it because, I mean, it came from your doctor. It's different than what we carry. She's like, no, it's not. I mean, all laxatives are the same, aren't they? And he's like, no, not necessarily. I mean, the ones that you get from the doctor are usually, I'm trying to remember the name of what they use in it. I think it's an ingredient called like a ducosate sodium or something like that. It's an ingredient that you usually only find, like, that's the one that you find in like your prescription style ones. They generally don't use that. He's like, so I mean, we don't really carry that. The ones that we carry are generally like herbal based ones. They don't use the same ingredients, so it's a totally different process. And she's like, do any of you people know anything in there? I mean, they're all the freaking same. Just take one off your shelf and read to me how to use it so I can go on with my life and take a crap. And he's just like, I'm sorry, man, but like the ones that we have don't operate the same way. Like, you have to use them differently, otherwise you can do harm to your system. Like, and then she's just like, whatever, just forget it. I don't even care anymore. And she just hung up the phone. and at this point, he's just like, what is going on today? Like, is it just like leftover madness from the full moon, or what's going on? Like, this whole thing is going on, and it's just ridiculous. But the best one, the best of the whole three things that happened on Saturday was the last call. Oh boy, this was the moment that like, I came back like right as it ended, and I came back, and dude, he was just like, dude, I need to get the hell out of here right now. I can't take it anymore. Like, just you're answering all the phone calls from this point on, because it's just the whole like bona fide high octane diarrhea has hit the industrial size fan, and everything is gone from this point. we have reached the point of no return in just the carnival style crap storm that is going on right now. So this lady comes in, and you could tell, you know, and he knew right away that this was going to go the wrong way, because he's standing up there at the front counter, and she comes walking in. As soon as she like made eye contact with him, she's like, "Oh great, a man's working here. That's just what I need." And he's just like, okay. I mean, he's like, "Is there anything that I can help you with?" She's like you would know anyways. And then she's like you would know about any of this stuff anyways. And she kind of does like this sort of like waving her hand over like the general area of like her crotch. And he's like, I mean, I'm definitely not like the resident expert on all this stuff. He's like, but I do know some things about that. So I mean, maybe I can help you. And she's like, well, hopefully. She's like, well, hopefully you can tell me what's going on, because this is ridiculous. She's like, it's all this area, it's all red, and like she like pulled down her pants a little bit, not like so you could see like any of that stuff, but she like pulled down, like the whole area was just like really red, and she's like, it's red and it's bleeding and there's pus and discharge coming out, and I just don't even know what to do about it. And he's like, well, I mean, to me, he's like, that kind of sort of sounds like it could be like candida or like a yeast infection maybe. And so he goes on to, you know, ask her some more questions about what's going on. And he's like, well, just by chance, he's like, is there like any odor that's, you know, going along with any of that, with like the discharge or anything? And, you know, he's just simply like trying to ask her, you know, symptoms so he can help figure out what's wrong. And she took it the wrong way, like totally the wrong way. And she just pounced on him at that point. Not like physically like a lion or anything. Like, she didn't dive on him and start stripping his flesh off of his body for sustenance or anything. But she's like, are you implying that I smell? Like, and he's just like, no, like, I was just trying to, you know, learn more about what's going on here so I can help you. And she's like, You know what? Forget it. She's like, you understand? He's like, you just don't get it, do you? People like you, men like you, are the reason why divorces happen. Because you don't know anything. Men just don't know anything about vaginas, and I'm sick of it. And she just turned around and stormed out the door and like kicked the door open and just freaking strolled out. And he was just standing there like, what? Like, what's going on? I can't take it. And he just like, and then as soon as I came back, he's like, I just don't even know what to do anymore. Like what in the hell is going on? Did we get like some crazy thing where all the planets align and there's like some weird like, you know, sci-fi type of thing going on? Just like we're just getting like weird like cyborg people coming in and their brains have been taken over by asshole people or what? It's like, first of all, like, how is every man supposed to understand what we're going, like, it's not like he was a jerk about it, like, he was just asking her, like, the basic questions that anybody would have asked. Not to mention, B, if she was having all of that stuff, she probably should have gone to a doctor. I mean, it's not like I have a PhD or anything, but if your freaking slaw down there is bleeding and there's pussy discharge coming out, you should probably go to, like, a gynecologist or your doctor. Somebody that, you know, can prescribe you something. Somebody that's got, you know, a plaque on their wall in their office that says that they went to medical school for that, because I think they're probably a little bit more qualified than somebody that's selling vitamins. Not saying we don't know anything, but good lord, man. I mean, we're not really the people that should be the go-to choice for that. But then the whole, like, you're the reason why divorces happen, like, I'm pretty sure that the reason why, obviously, she's not married to anybody, because she's obviously got the giant, you know, total disdain for men as it is. It's like, I'm pretty sure the reason why divorces happen in your case is because you are clinically insane. I mean, you're jumping all over a guy that you've never met before, and he's calmly and, you know, politely trying to help you, and all you're doing is yelling and screaming at him and giving him like the men don't know anything and everything is a man's fault. I can't take any accountability for my own issues. It's like, holy smokes, man, you need to chill. And oh boy, I wish I would have been there, not because I would have like interjected and done anything, because I don't think that anything that would have happened at that point would have helped, but it's just like, oh, wow. People like this exist on the planet. It sucks. So, yeah, it was quite the day, man. It was a real dooze fest. It was something else. So, I don't know, man. I don't know if there was, like, some sort of weird sci-fi thing going on Saturday, but it was, whew, yee, So, with all that out of the way, now that we have brought story time to a close, we have the 9-6 lead over the other Viper in this competition, which I really wish I had the Viper GTS. I love the body style of the GTS so much more than the RT10. But the RT10 was a better bargain, and we've got the lead here, so we gotta roll with it, you know. God, that DB7 is heavy as hell. Put that thing on a diet, man. My God, I mean, get it on a treadmill. Start having to eat salads out of like a mason jar and all sorts of things, you know. Just give it a rest. Alright guys, well we're out of time for now, so when we come back on the next episode of Let's Play Gran Turismo, the Ultimate Driving Simulator, we're taking on Special Stage R5, and maybe I will have another story for you. But until then, my friends, this is your host AMF1534 saying thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care, and men, it's all your fault. It's our fault, you know. It just is. Take it easy. Bye.